All right, we're live. 5USC, we are live and right into the first match of the day. Georgia C versus New York C, coming in a little bit late here.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America. A second commentator has hit the casting booth.
Yep, and we are getting right into the action here. Just starting a little bit late. Looks like we are about 2/3 of the way through the first map, this being New York's pick. Nomad 2, a little bit expected considering how, looking at the stats of Georgia, they did do relatively poorly on DT2 and Nomad 2 in the qualifiers, showing some weakness on those tapping picks. So I'm not too surprised to see this pick, first pick coming out from New York, but what I am surprised to see is that Georgia is currently leading the match by almost 200,000 score here. As we go into
bad
this
news.
towards
I have bad
beginning
news
part
to
of the
tell
map.
you. The teams are swapped right now. It is actually New York C on red right now. They've switched slots on accident. It seems.
Oh my god, no,
Oh,
they
okay,
didn't.
that
I
makes
just
a lot
put
of
this into the
sense.
bracket wrong.
Oh, y'all, my bad. All right.
It's
There we
alright.
Okay,
It's all
that lines up more with what I had in
you
my notes as
ready.
well. Thank you.
And coming into the final Ki, it is only my angel Sayaka on the FC for Georgia C. Vestal Fanboy with the supporting combo, but the accuracy, the combo lead, it's not enough. There's 2 FCs on New York C, and they sorry ZNZ, and they are looking to storm into this first pick. It is too far too late. Twist would need to break immediately for anything to switch over, but the score lead is staying stagnant, so and a missed opportune miss could make it close.
Yeah, just nearly 300,000 score gap at this point. There's just not enough song left, and as the song closes up, we should just be seeing New York take this first map pick of theirs right here.
To take that first pick, but no FC on the side of New York C. It's looking to be Sayaka, the only FC on the board. Not enough. Nope. Full drop from Georgia. No one gets the FC, and that's gonna be New York C leading by 1. We've got a match.
Yep. New York taking their first pick of the match. Oh, everyone dropping the combos there towards the end. Even on the side of New York, I saw a few of those combos drop relatively early, and the supporting combo from Vestal Femboy, supporting My Angel Sayaka's FC attempt. They started to pull it back a little bit towards the end, but it just wasn't enough. Just not enough song. And New York is going to take the lead 1-0.
Yeah, and Georgia C, I'm not fully familiar with what they'd be picking for. I generally know how these guys, are these guys from prior 5 UCs, but oh, good morning,
Fixing the
stream.
client skin. We'll be right back.
Okay.
Yep. Regarding
now-
Georgia's pick, I do believe they looked pretty good on just general aim mechanics. So I wouldn't be surprised to see, for example, a Hard Rock 1 pick. We could also see the Nomad 1 out of them, or a DT1, or maybe something out of the free mod pool as well.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I believe they also did decent on the Hidden 1 picks. Vestal Femboy does seem to like Hidden. But they do seem, as well as so does Arui.
Yeah.
But they did seem overall more mechanically oriented, except for the tapping apparently. But it's going to be the free mod 1 coming out
Gonna
from
be free mod
Georgia,
1.
and we'll see what
Okay.
who they put in and what mods they pick.
Yeah, I think we'll definitely be seeing a lot of these minor league teams, a lot of these sort of lower seeded teams with less depth really play into those free mods. I think when you can just let players go wild on their own, their own little niches, their skill sets, you're really gonna see some players pop. And Georgia presumably is going to have a pretty comfortable free mod roster. I mean, knowing Georgia A and how deep their free mod roster is, I'm sure it. Oh. I'm very confused now because I'm very confused. Why did free mod 1 get picked?
I don't know.
Hidden 2 pick in the chat now?
Okay, Hidden 2. It's Hidden 2. That makes a lot of sense.
Okay, Georgia going into their
noticed that was
reading.
right.
Yeah, we did see the easy ban coming out from, I believe it was New York earlier.
Oh,
So it kind of makes sense that Georgia would try to pick the other reading map in the pool, that being this hidden 2 here. So we're going to see ARA only 5.01 stars, so not too difficult, but there are, of course, going to be some sections that'll trip you up regardless, simply due to the reading.
Yeah. Well, going map for map, actually, this New York City had edged Georgia out in qualifiers for slightly better score, but it's an early stage. Rosters can always flip. Never can predict, but it looks like the rosters have been locked in. It's Twist, Symphogear, and Hoyin for New York and on the side of Georgia C. We're gonna be seeing Caleb back in again with Arui and Big Baddie Brian.
Yeah, Big Baddie Bryant probably on the fill. He does show some hidden comfort, but I'm mostly going to be expecting a big score out of Arui here. He's shown a lot of strength on hidden in the past. And then Caleb also seems to be another fill. Just put up a good supporting combo. Of course, Caleb and Bryant both being relatively strong players overall. Do note that this hidden 2 pick is quite different from the one in the qualifiers, where that one was AR 8.2, and this one is AR 8 proper. Additionally, there is a bit of a tapping section in the middle. The one from the qualifiers also did have a little bit of tapping in there as well. But the biggest difference is going to be that this is hard 8.2, so it's going to be a lot more difficult on the reading gimmick compared to what we saw in qualifiers.
Yeah.
So a couple early breaks coming out here from Hoyin and Big Daddy Bryant, but nothing to worry about so far. Up through the first chorus or so of the song, I would say is relatively free, and I don't think we'll be seeing any breaks realistically. And just as I say that, Twist is breaking right into the first Ki here.
Yeah, gonna be matched by Caleb, and to be matched by, an extra break on Bryant finds a little extra miss before that stream. So now it's 2 FCs to 1. Arui doing his best, winning the accuracy battle at the very least against Hoyin, but the score lead still very early, lots of opportunity, and the accuracies on Georgia C doing great work to keep that lead from spiraling out of control.
And nobody breaking on that tapping section.
It's still coming across.
Yeah, someone could still break here, but it looks like we're just gonna eke everyone through. Oh no, Symphogear's gonna drop at the last moment.
Yeah. And now the combo leads come back over to Georgia C. Still have to claw it back. Arui dropping a lot of accuracy. He's gonna drop the FC now.
That's not the person you want breaking on Georgia's side. He is their hidden star. He is the one who you want to be FCing this map.
It's a break from another break from Caleb, which means Hoyin now completely free to fly. We're hitting the 2/3 part, and through this second Ki, the score is starting to get out of control. Georgia needs a Hail Mary here, and it needs to be in the form of a double break, but it's not coming.
Yeah, Big Daddy Bryant matching, no, not anymore. Not even matching the supporting combo from Twist anymore. And now it's just Twist on the recovery with Hoyin still on the reverse choke with a 300,000 score lead going over to New York as we head into this final break before the last ending of the song.
They see the scores at the end. I think they know it's about over. Caleb's break just sealed it. Break point achieved on the first pick. And now all eyes on the top left of the screen. Hoyin looking to pull out not an FC, but real close to one. It's going to be incredible. It's an even bigger margin than the Nomad 2.
Yeah, this is really an incredible performance from New York and quite an unfortunate collapse from Georgia's side. Their first pick, the hidden 2 gimmick, the reading gimmick, not quite working out for them. But as the score continues to climb, maybe even to 700,000 as the players spin to win, but there's really nothing to spin to win for here on Georgia's side as this map is firmly in the hands of New York C.
That's going to be 2-0. Yeah, I mean, anything can happen on these in these early stages, these lower difficulty pools. And we just saw that right there. Georgia C just completely stomped on their own pick. They're gonna have to step back after this one and
And most
figure it
notably,
out. Oh,
yeah, and most notably, two S ranks coming out on the side of New York. Hoyin and Twist only finding the slider breaks, no misses at all from them. Sinful Gear likewise with only one miss. So that is quite the performance from New York.
yeah. One miss across the board for an entire team. That's incredible.
Yeah. So breakpoint to New York, and we'll have to see how New York are going to decide to try and push forward with this little advantage that they've secured for themselves.
Well, we mentioned we saw that Noma 2 win earlier. We saw Georgia C did not do the greatest on that Noma 2 and the DT2 in qualifiers. Meanwhile, I do want to say Georgia, the New York C, obviously DT2 is banned, but they could still take a DT and just run away with it. They just have the stronger roster overall for DT, and thinking that's the route they'd like to go.
The thing about this DT pool though is that this so Georgia didn't do amazing on the DT3 in qualifiers, but notably this DT3 is quite different. It's not heavy. It's nowhere near as heavy on the finger control as in qualifiers, and there's quite a lot of awkward aim in it from a sort of older style grid mapping, but we don't have to worry about that at the moment, as we're just going to see the Nomad 4 tech pick. Zana and Delina. Hydra is the name of the song mapped by Qol.
Yeah.
So interesting pick coming out from New York. I think if they take this, then they might even be able to push for another pick on the hidden one, as that's another sort of techier map in the pool. A little bit heavy on the flow aim as well. But it seems like they're sort of just trying to put out the feelers and seeing just how much they can get away with against this Georgia team.
Yeah. And I'm not exactly sure who to expect on either roster. I'm sure I'd figure we probably see I think we might see Caleb in, we might see Sayaka in for Georgia. New York C, not 100% sure. Their Nomad 4 roster in qualifiers though. ZNZ, Fallenik, and Hoyen probably going to see some combination of those players back in.
Yeah, I'm definitely expecting Bryant and Caleb to be playing here. They have a lot of tournament history, longtime USC and tournament player. So they'll definitely be more experienced on these sort of more niche mech tech picks.
Yeah, and we're not going to be seeing ZNZ in this time. We're going to be seeing, we're not going to be seeing ZNZ or Fallenik. Not sure if they're here, but we're going to be seeing Twist and Ari for New York C here.
Yeah, I'm not too surprised about those either. Twist obviously played 5USC last year, once again on the C team, and Ari also heavily involved in tournaments as of recently. So likewise, a lot of experience on these mech tech, sort of less conventional types of maps. And we are getting right into it. Hydra, 5.39 stars, 3 minutes and 32 seconds. A little bit on the longer side, but still not too long, nothing over 4 minutes. BPM is also fairly reasonable at 174, so still on the more orthodox side of these unorthodox picks.
Yeah, and there is an early break from Triple B, Big Baddie Bryant. Any other breaks on this section? Yep, it's going to be Ari to trade it out, but we're early into the map.
But those are also both, before we get into this little Ki section here, lots of sliders, lots of fast movement.
Right.
And it is going to be intense on that right-hand gaming. Of course, assuming the players are aiming with their right hands and not tapping with their right hands.
Hoyen gonna find the break, so now 1 FC down. It's 2 FCs down for New York. Just that early break from Bryant for the side of Georgia. No, wait, Sayaka found the break earlier. My bad. What? Okay, that was a banjo break from Bryant. I think those are real breaks from Ari Hoyen. And now, the script flips again. It's 2FCs for Georgia this time.
Yeah, Hoyen and Ari finding real breaks. Well, that was a banjo break. And it's going to be two big combos on the side of Georgia. 600 and climbing on Caleb and Bryant, the two long-standing members of this Georgia roster. Lots of tournament experience under their belts. And on the other side, for New York, it's just going to be Twist trying to hold his own. He needs to hold this combo and get some sort of recovery from either Hoyen or Ari. And not even that, they also need to pray for a break somewhere on the Georgia side. Because right now, that score lead is just going up and up.
It is, yeah. But I mean, this, if you are hoping for a break, now is the time. The score cap potential is immense here. Nerves have to be mounting, but so is that score lead. And big accuracy drops gonna mitigate some from Bryant.
But look at the accuracy on Caleb.
Yeah, 99 Saika gonna find the break now. So the combos slowly coming back. Wait, that's a drop from Caleb. And look at that.
That's going to be exactly what New York needed. They have Twist still on that huge combo, over 1,000.
Disaster striking.
Georgia's collapsing. Oh, Bryant broke. Saiga broke again. They can't get a combo going.
They can't get a combo going.
Ari's going to trade one back,
down.
But Scorley gets New York.
Twist and Hoyen, this dynamic duo bringing it again for the state of New York. What a run, FCing into the ending. It's come over, and there's nothing to bring it back.
Yeah, it looks like Twist is just going to run away with this incredible score of his 700k and climbing 1400, almost 1400 combo. No, he's going to break at the last moment, but surely there's not enough song left. There is 240,000 score lead on New York.
It's nowhere near enough.
And Georgia has no combos. Hoyen is still holding that 900 combo, and I think this is just going to be a breakpoint to Georgia.
It has happened. And look at that yet again. New York brings the thunder.
Bringing the thunder. Point. New York is going to secure their pick.
Securing the pick 3-0. An S rank from Hoyen, a 1 miss from Twist. And Georgia really needs something on the board here. Best of 9. They only have one. This could be their final pick. And they need to convert right now.
Yep. The fortunate thing is that was New York's pick. The bad news is now New York has shown dominance not only on tapping, which you already knew you were going to lose on, but also reading, which was your first pick, your initial strategy in the match, and also these more gimmicky tech picks. So if you're Georgia in this situation, you've lost on basically every single skill set. Where do you go from here? Do you just gamble on a DT1? Do you gamble on a Nomad 1?
Well, yeah, the options there always to gamble. Now they're in the bracket stage. As I was saying earlier, the free mods are open, and even these C team rosters with the depth they have, I'm sure they can let some of these guys fly on one of the free mod maps. I'm gonna be looking, but I'm gonna be looking probably at that free mod 1. If you don't go for that, that consistency gamble, and they're gonna go that DT1, so they are gonna go for that consistency gamble.
All right, so it's gonna be the DT aim pick. AR 10. So AR 8.5, which with DT means it's going to be AR 10. So notably lower than what we had in quals. That was AR 10.2. So that could make quite a difference in terms of the general comfortability that the players will have on this map.
And I think we're gonna be seeing Z and Z back in. Twist and Hoyen have just been rocking it this entire match. So of that duo of Caleb and Bryant for Georgia, and we're gonna be seeing Deanward in. I believe this is their first time in. Probably slotted in for that, for that DT consistency.
Yeah, he does seem to be quite good at DT. Normally more of an HR player, but seems to be good at DT1 in particular. We are surprisingly not seeing a Rui, who also seems to be good on DT, but it's just when you have Caleb and Brian, it's like, what are you gonna do? Not put them in?
Yeah. But
Right. Yeah. And on the side of New York, Twist also quite strong on the DT. Hoyin, I don't see him playing a lot of DT, but his general tournament experience should just mean that he's quite consistent.
and we're gonna be seeing a last-second
like
switch out actually. Last-second switch out for Hoyin. It's gonna be Ari coming back into the lobby.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Ari has shown a lot of proficiency on the DT picks in the past, in both, I believe, USC and other tournaments of recent. Yes. So, just waiting on the GLHF. Okay, we are getting into the maps. GLHF's in the lobby, and we are loading in now. As you can see from those stats, AR10, OD 7.5. It's going to be 232 BPM, so not terribly fast. And then the length also at 3 minutes and 4 seconds. Not a little bit on the longer side for a DT1 pick, but not terribly long either.
You know, most everyone makes it out safely through that. Deanward had, I think, 3 or 4 misses on the first few notes, which, you know, with how shaky his aim looked there, I really hope that doesn't forebode later events, but you know, this guy seems to just be able to aim it and play it. ZNZ with the break.
Yeah, and
so
Ari
now,
found another break for New York earlier as well.
Yeah. Coming into the first Ki, it's only one FC for New York now. Twist on a tear this match, but Georgia looks to have the better team consistency. Ari with another break, which means now the lead can really go. Oh, Georgia survives that first Ki.
Yeah, Georgia with 3 FCs coming through that first Ki. All 3 players intact. And that's just the general inconsistency that we're talking about with this DT1 pick. You know, anyone can miss. It's aim. It's going to happen at some point.
As you say that, there goes ZNZ. That's a supporting combo. Deanward down as well, though, to trade it out. That's going to favor New York. But the 2 FCs on the board, I mean, there's not much you can do about that.
Yeah, and it looks like Ari and ZNZ are really struggling on this pick. It might not just be the consistency gamble. It could just be that they're just not very comfortable on it. Like, just look at how much they're breaking so far.
Yeah.
It's going to be Brian to trade one back. So now it's down to just Caleb versus Twist in the FC's 1v1. The score is going to hold relatively stable at a 300,000 lead for Georgia here.
And there goes Twist, and I think that's their leeway to this point gone. Georgia C going to get themselves on the board. And again, we're just looking in that top right. Is Caleb going to come through with that FC?
I mean, at this point, even if he drops, New York have no combos active at the moment. RA, ZNZ, and Twist all recently reset. You can say the same for both of the other members of Georgia C as well. But ultimately, with this 400,000 score lead and climbing still, nearly reaching 500,000, it's quite a difficult wall to overcome now for New York.
Difficult, that nigh upon impossible, but every player on Georgia's done their job. They've won their 1v1s, and all it is now, it's the one-man army on Caleb looking for an FC. They want this. They want something to get loud over. They need this for the team mental, and it's a meltdown from Twist at the end. And that's going to be it. Looking for 600,000 in the ending. New York stomped. And Georgia C, they're back in this. They will get one more pick, and they will not let this sweep happen.
Yeah, and Caleb really putting out a statement there with the FC 1.1 million score. So, of course, Hayek on that DT pick. And that is going to be a statement that Georgia are here and they're here to play. That hidden pick may not have, their first pick on the hidden 2 may not have panned out exactly as intended, but they're still here in this lobby and they are present and they are fighting.
Yeah, and the fight, it is all right. And even Georgia's lowest score, Deanward, still coming in over ZNZ. the comfort factor, or even just the consistency factor, really there opens up that no mod 1 avenue, honestly. And despite
Certainly.
New York C being a very good aim, definitely a very good aim team,
Yeah, notably number 6 on No Mod 1 in qualifiers with a 1.9 million total team score.
This is a normal, C team. Thanks, C team. Good job. I don't know how they do that, you know, but
I mean,
digress.
it is No Mod 1. You will just randomly see pop-off scores every now and then.
Yeah.
It's aim. It's time to gamble.
Thanks New York. Thanks New York for having like nastiest aim state ever. New York B gets number 1, but they're gonna pick No Mod 3. New York C coming in with that No Mod 3.
And notably, one of the harder maps in this pool, actually. Some people were even saying that it's the hardest map in the pool, so higher seed teams should use it to sort of get an easier stomp and sort of skill cap gap the lower seeded teams that they faced in this first round here.
Cool.
It's going to be a swing pick. It's alt, of course, no mod 3. But the swing rhythm is going to mean that it's very difficult to act, especially for these lower skill cap players that you'll see in these lower seed teams. However, in this case, New York and Georgia, both quite decent seeds. I believe 19 and 14 it was.
Yeah.
Yes, Georgia C at seed 19 and New York C at seed 14. So they should be somewhat similar in skill cap. We're just mostly going to see who's going to hold on these flow alt aim patterns, because there are a lot of these 6-note flow alt aim patterns sprinkled throughout the song, usually at the end of these mini climax sections. And they are spaced and they're difficult to hit. So I'm expecting to see a lot of breaks on those little patterns there. And it might even just end up deciding the map on who can hit those and who can hit more of those.
Swing in round of 32 is a nasty thing, though. I mean, you know, it's still ulti, but at this level of control that you need, you really need to rely on your tried and true players, and we're gonna be seeing that for both rosters, Hoyin and Twist. Twist especially has just been, you know, the anchor, the rock of this New York C team for this match. Meanwhile, we're seeing Caleb in again. I think this guy's been in every single map.
Yeah, and likewise with Bryant and Sayaka. Together with Caleb, some of the most tenured members of this Georgia roster here. We are going to see an early break from Hoyin, so we'll see if that means anything for their comfortability on this map later on. It is quite long, in fact, 3 minutes and 50 seconds. So consistency on swing is going to be a factor here.
There goes Big Buddy Brian. That's the first FC drop for the side of New York C. But I just want to point out the accuracy is really telling another story of comfortability in their own right. Georgia C consistently has lower accuracy, and ZNZ still on that 99 for New York. So
yeah, that is just incredible from ZNZ. I cannot. It is very impressive to get 99 act on this kind of swing map.
Yeah, and if I'm Georgia, you know, looking at these accuracies, I'd be thinking it's pretty hard to field a roster for this map for them. And there's another FC down.
Yeah, those are the alt patterns that I was talking about. That flow aim, those 6-note patterns, just absolutely destroying Caleb there.
Ooh, but a slider gonna catch out ZNZ. The accuracy is gonna act as a nice net. Hoyin now the only FC. Oh,
who did he break on?
Wait. Oh no.
But it's not gonna matter because Caleb and Sayaka are gonna break on the flow aim pattern right after. And now it's just Hoyin versus Big Baddie Bryant. With the 2 high combos, Hoyin with a small combo lead as we head into the second verse of the song here. But notably, quite the large accuracy advantage, as you pointed out earlier, towards New York. It's going to be Sayaka on that 90% act, Caleb a little bit lower on that 94, 95, a little bit fluctuating back and forth. But
wait a second,
drop.
Hoyin's gonna drop. Ooh. But the
score
accuracy...
lead is... Yeah, that score lead is slowly gonna pull back.
And there goes Brian's combo, and that is going to just take any sign of recovery and throw it into the dumpster for now. Now it's on to all these recoveries to break. Z and Z's won, but now, oh god, there's more chain misses from Georgia.
Yeah, Bryant just couldn't hold it together in that section, and Caleb dropping as well. It's gonna mean Sayaka's on their own up against the matching combo from Twist and the supporting combo from Hoyin here, as another ult pattern breaks Twist's combo.
I'm scared. I don't think it's gonna be enough. Hoyin's combo
Sayaka's gonna break.
Oh, dude. Oh man, and that's an unfortunate series of events going down.
Yeah, we're really just seeing the impact of these 6-0 flowing patterns, just breaking combos at the most crucial of moments, and it's a 200,000 score lead for New York at the moment. Nobody has any combo anywhere. Maybe Caleb trying to build something up, but there's just not a lot of song left.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't already called, say it ain't so. It's New York, and they're gonna claim another pick, and they're up to match point. The seed 14 making this look like they're playing this seed to 32. Man, Georgia now really need to pull something together.
Yep, very difficult map. Obviously very difficult to act because of the swing rhythm, and then also just those flowing patterns destroying combos left and right.
Yeah, and Georgia C really needs something big here. This, again, it could be their final pick, and if I'm Georgia, I'm looking back at that DT1, I'm looking at that score line, and I am 100% thinking, I think it's time to pull out the Nomad 1. I think, despite the gamble, I think we're feeling more consistent today. Even pull out something like that Hard Rock 1, but...
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely go for the Hard Rock 1 if I were Georgia over that Nomad 1, simply because New York C does have that 1.9 million team score from the qualifiers. They're number 6 on the rankings. I believe that was from minor league. Let me just check the stats.
Yep.
But yes, that is number 6 in the minor league on Nomad 1 from the qualifiers. So that is ahead of New Jersey B, seed 4. That is also ahead of Massachusetts B, seed 5. So that is quite the impressive Nomad 1 score they have in qualifiers. And I personally think Georgia is just too intimidated by that seeding. And it seems like I guessed correctly, because we're going to see the Free Mod 2 pick out here.
Yeah, so here we go. Notes in the chat. Origami Angel, thank the Lord for this pick. Oh yeah.
Yeah, this map is quite the banger. Map set hosted by a true American Patriot Rectagon, and this particular guest difficulty mapped by another true American Patriot, Mr. Stacker over here.
Thank you, Stacker Joe. Yeah. Fremont 2, we're going to be seeing that CS5 ARA action, the anti-mod here. And we're going to be seeing Arroy back in the lobby for Fremont 2, 100% going to be taking one of those reading mods. Deanward, most likely their Hard Rock, going to be their Hard Rock player. Caleb, though, I forget the free mod rules. Is it you just need 2 mods, or do you need 3 mods?
You need 2 mods. You need to have at least 1 hidden/easy player, and then you need to have 1 Hard Rock player.
Great, and the other players free to do whatever?
Yes. So I wouldn't be surprised if Caleb goes for the overmod on hidden, but at the same time it is an anti-mod pick, and like you really just don't want to be overmodding on an anti-mod pick like this. Anyway, for the New York side, we're going to be seeing Hoyin in the lobby again. He does like the hidden, so I expect him to see him take that.
Right.
For ZNZ, he does seem to be that more mechanics DT Hard Rock player, so I expect him to see I expect to see him on the Hard Rock, and then Symphogear probably just filling on the Nomad. He could play Hidden as well, though, so we'll see exactly what they go for. Hoyin and Symphogear both able to take some sort of reading mod, either Hidden or Easy. So it could be an overmod angle from New York here, actually. And remember, we did see them take the break point off of Georgia on the Hidden 2. So they might be feeling quite comfortable, and it is going to be the Hidden for Symphogear, but Hoyin will just be on that no mod here.
Yeah, and we're gonna be seeing Caleb overmodding that Hard Rock. You see it with a lot of rosters where they'll have that solid reading player, but often, the rest of your roster just takes that comfort Hard Rock, especially when you're in like the overmod just because the AR8.
And also, when you are a Hard Rock player and you see something like CS6.5, it's not that daunting considering how Hard Rock 2 picks are typically just your home, and by doing that, you sort of just get to skip entirely on the reading requirement of the map.
100%, and we're gonna be seeing a Roy on the Easy, which means their scores are, going to be, well, I guess relative to the actual Easy score, going to be a little buffed, but
yeah, I forget if the multiplier is included or not in the overlay. Maybe we can get some sort of confirmation on that from staff.
It doesn't look like it is.
Almost certainly not. It will be when you get Tosu running, I'm pretty sure, but for Laser, no.
Okay, so it's not, which means can't 100% trust the lead right now, but right now it's only 1FC. It's 1FC to 2. Symphogear looking real comfortable on that Hidden. Hoyin lagging behind on the accuracy.
Yeah, I mean, even without the easy multiplier baked into the client, you can clearly see that it's going to be a nice score advantage for New York here. Arui and Deanward finding early breaks, even though ZNZ does trade one earlier.
There goes Caleb's FC, and that's not good. Oh, it's looking like a meltdown for Georgia C.
Yeah, this is quite disastrous. This is looking quite disastrous for Georgia's pick here.
I hate to say it, it might be early to call, but I think that's gonna be it for Georgia C. Oh no.
I don't think it's early at all to call, because if you look at the map time, it is a 2 minutes 23 drain time, and we are almost at the end of the map already with a 600,000 score lead to New York and climbing. Georgia are looking in shambles at the moment.
No FC from Hoyin, but a Hail Mary Fremont 2 pick, and it's not gonna work out. A Hail Mary it will not be, and New York C with the break point going to close this out 5-1. Oh man, that has got to hurt. But GG's.
Yeah, that is quite the collapse on Georgia from the reading picks. They attempted to pick reading and the Hidden 2 on their first pick of the match, and then they pick another map with some reading elements, and it just doesn't work out for them. New York pulling ahead in almost all skill sets here, and really just showing that they're the better team overall.
Yeah, and
impressive performance from New York.
Yeah, and for such a close seed matchup, right? You never really expect to see it, but man, that was quite the showing for New York C. They get to face the winner. Oh no, and New York C, they get to face the winner of NorCal B versus Puerto Rico. Oh, that's gonna be a rough matchup to watch for New York, but
yeah, Puerto Rico's looking really strong this year.
It's true. NorCal B.
They might just
better be ready.
They're not going to be ready for Puerto Rico, man. I'll tell you that.
They aren't. Meanwhile, back in the losers bracket, Georgia C gonna get to face the loser of that matchup. But for now, thank you guys for watching. We hope to see you this upcoming weekend for the onslaught of matches. I've been Hydro. Thank you to Ready for Streaming and Bless for being an awesome commentator.
Thank you.
And that'll be it. Good night, everyone.
Good night.